Hi, I'm Michelle from Mariposa Studio. You know, I had planned to do something quite different for my first video about Mariposa Studio pets. It was going to be happy and uplifting and fun and maybe cute, and I can't. And let me tell you why. The second time this week, I have been informed that a family pet has been killed, shot by police officers. Let me be clear, this is two different incidents in this state, in two different towns with two family pets dead. You know, in a minute, I really want to go into the consequences of that, but first of all, I want to talk about why I'm doing this video right now, why I'm saying what I'm saying this morning, and starting my YouTube channel for Mariposa Pets out with this. Because honestly, I've been struggling with my own crisis of what I'm doing in the world, and is it enough? There has been so much going on lately, and a lot of suffering, a lot of people who are being treated so badly. I keep wondering if I need to go back to journalism. You know, I question myself, how does me being a pet photographer accomplish anything? How does it help the world? When I saw these reports this morning, it took me back to an incident from early in my journalism career. I want to share that with you. It was my job at that point to call the police spokesperson and the fire chief every morning to find out what had happened the night before. Now, these guys actually were brothers. They're two big, burly, tough guys. But this particular morning, when I called the fire chief, he was practically in tears. It seemed that some kids had set fire to a cat. The cat had run into some leaves. The fire department had to respond, and it had fallen to him to make that gruesome discovery of what had happened. But it was what his brother said that stuck with me. He said, "This is how it starts." I said, "What?" He said, "When kids are cruel to animals, they often go beyond that eventually to be cruel to humans." It was only a couple of years later that his words came back to haunt me. A good friend of mine was murdered while I was in college. And word was that the guys who killed him had a history of being cruel to animals, then to family members, and now to my friend who was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'll be honest, since then, I've had a kind of horror of people who can be like this, who can go out and be spiteful and hateful and expect to get away with it. I've had a real aversion to people who like to throw their weight around and demonstrate power over those they perceive as weak, and of people who can't seem to see beyond themselves, who seem to lack empathy and compassion. Here's the thing, we show a lot about what kind of society we have by how we treat those who truly have no voice. You can be cruel to a being that has no voice and no way of obtaining justice and no legal standing if you're a cruel person. Maybe all of these cruel people don't go on to be cruel to human beings, but some of them do. And I've heard it from many other responsible people in law enforcement since then. When can we start to believe that other kinds of lives are important? Can we believe that the lives of immigrants and refugees and the elderly and the poor, that those are important? They are also many times among the voiceless. Consequences. Back to the police officer shooting dogs. Entire families are affected beyond just this moment. Children stop trusting law enforcement. Communities become divided. That's just the beginning. Can we just start respecting others? Can we just start honoring the love we share instead of taking it for granted? I still choose to believe that we can, and my personal vow is that I will do all I can to help.